Some nice jackfruit jambalaya is what we are going to cook today. This recipe is one of the recipes that I cooked from the Forks Over Knives app. I will probably link some other videos from the same website, from the same app down below. So if you're curious, go check them out. I've stocked upon the jackfruit a while ago because I really like the idea that it looks somewhat like meat, but it doesn't actually taste like meat. It has its own taste, to be perfectly honest with you. So if you want to fool someone to think this is meat, you can fool them by the looks of it, but it's going to taste different. I'm just putting it out there. I do want to tell you that I really enjoy Forks Over Knives app. Go check their website. It's absolutely free to use it. The app costs a little bit of money, but it's really convenient to navigate it on your phone. I will link all the timestamps and the description in the description box down below, and I also started adding the descriptions in Russian because this is my mother tongue. So if you're watching it with the captions, with the subtitles, it's probably going to be more useful for you, or at least I hope so, if you check the description, and you can take the screenshot and use it in your cooking. As for the jackfruit, I do understand it might be a little bit harder to find it, especially in Western countries and especially in Russia. I haven't been inside the country for a while due to the situation, so I cannot say how much it will cost in the supermarkets. Probably it's going to be something on the exotic side, but if you skip the jackfruit, you can experiment with the rest of the ingredients. You can still cook something nice. I really do appreciate Forks Over Knives notes on the recipe itself. Do rinse your jackfruit as I did if you are using a canned jackfruit version. If you're using a fresh jackfruit, you're so lucky. Don't eat it all before you cook it. And also we are using some pre-cooked brown rice. The way I cook brown rice, you know, it's a very tiny detail, but if you eat brown rice, or better say black rice, the wild rice, the actual brown rice, you might notice that it's not getting digested and it's just like passes through your digestive system untouched. Do pre-soak it. I normally pre-soak my brown rice like I do with my legumes. It might be a little bit harder on your digestive tract if you do not pre-soak it, and moreover you do not get the nutrients out of it. Do whatever works for you. This is how I do it, and this is what I find works for me. Also, different brands of the brown rice might differ from each other. I hope it doesn't surprise you by now, but you can find brown rice with quite high protein content. And this one, for example, has 10 grams of protein per 100 grams of serving, which is pretty impressive. Oh, and actually they do recommend rinsing it with cold water and soaking it for 7 to 8 hours, which is exactly what I do. I just didn't know that it was on a package. And then it cooks for around 45 to 50 minutes. It does have a distinctive taste in this way. It's very different from the white rice, which has been stripped of its outer shell, outer surface. This is why it's white. Another thing that I personally pre-cooked in this case were the beans. I used pinto beans, but here in the recipe they're calling for red kidney beans, and actually you can use the beans that you like most. I don't see anything bad in it. I really love black beans for their texture and also their flavor and how well they hold the flavor. A variety is very much welcome in the plant-based diet. The recipe is calling for the Creole seasoning. Creole. And I mixed it myself. I will link the recipe that I used in the description down below. What I used for my seasoning, I'm just going to look into the monitor. I was using onion powder, garlic powder, dried Italian spices or herbs because I didn't have dried oregano. But if you do have dried oregano, that's the way to go. They are also calling for dried basil and dried thyme, which I had dried thyme. Then a little bit of black pepper, white pepper, I didn't have white pepper, a little bit of cayenne pepper and paprika together with salt. I skipped the salt, you can add it for the taste. Here you can see all the ingredients before they're chopped. Really super simple, super easy. Apart from that, we have some jackfruit and some diced tomatoes. And I'm not going to bore you with chopping, although I do find it very therapeutic. We just see everything pre-chopped here, and I find it really easy to do it this way. And in the cooking, we are starting with the first batch, which is going to be green bell peppers, pre-chopped, garlic, onion, celery, and bay leaf. We are going to simmer it in some boiling water with the reduced heat after it starts boiling, and we are going to cook them for up to 10 minutes till they're tender and soft. And after this, we are ready to proceed. If you are concerned with your vegetables sticking to the pan, well, apart from using the non-stick pan and investing in your pans, which is going to save you a lot of time, brain cells, and ultimately it's going to make your presence in the kitchen way nicer. We can add a little bit of more water here and there just to make the stuff not stick to the pan. I really like how simple it is after that. You can add everything else that you have in a saucepan, in a pan, and then just wait until it gets cooked. I also like my jackfruit to be pulled apart, but I do prefer to do it after the cooking is done, after it has soaked up some of the flavor already. Here we just add everything that we have. You can add more or less water or vegetable broth depending on how thick or how thin you like your jambalaya to be. And we cook it for around 20 to 30 minutes and it's going to be ready in no time. After the cooking is done, which is very simple and really fast, we just remove the bay leaf, add some lemon juice or some lime juice if you like that more. They're different in nutritional content, but if you're not a nutrition geek, that just eat everything, you're going to be fine. And you can sprinkle it with some parsley on top. What is great about this dish is that it comes with brown rice and with beans. You reach the satiety point. You get fuller faster, and it's really easy to take with you for lunch. Just don't get it spilled over. So the simplicity of this meal makes it great for weekly meal prep, and also how well it stays in the fridge makes it really suitable for eating it throughout the week. It's super simple. The only thing that is required is the jackfruit, which you might be struggling with, but I would imagine you can add some crispy tofu into it or just some tofu into it, and it will still taste great. It's not going to be the same meal, the same dish, you know what I mean, but you're going to add a little bit of your own twist to it, which hopefully will taste great and you will enjoy it as much as I did. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the recipe. I really appreciate Forks Over Knives for their efforts. Actually, they're posting the recipes online for free. So if you're in a search for some good inspiration for plant-based recipes, plant-based meals, and nutrition, go check out their website. It's super informative, I would say. Remember, food can be your medicine, so know what you eat and enjoy the process. Share it with someone you love. It's going to be fun, I swear, once you get into it. Meanwhile, I will be really happy to connect with you on Instagram. You can see it here, there. I'm publishing more nutritional tips and posting, of course, more regularly on how to make the best out of your meals. Do not take any medical advice from any social media, and just use it maybe as a food for thought and as a starting point for your own research. Do consult with any medical professionals if you're switching diets, especially if you're taking some medication against high blood pressure, if you're on a medication for diabetes, so on and so forth. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the time that you spent with me. Go check out some other of my videos, subscribe to the channel, give it a like, a comment, and I see you very, very soon.